Do you ever feel uneasy or anxious because you feel like people are having more fun than you? They're experiencing better things than you, and they have a better life than you? Well, if you are, that's what's known as the fear of missing out. And that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video. If you're new here, by the way, my name is James and I'm just an ordinary guy. I'm nothing special. I'm not a guru, but I'm someone who's lived a bit of a life. And there are some things that I've learned along the way, and that's what I share on this channel. Now, if you do feel the fear of missing out, there's a real good chance that you also watch social media and use social media quite a lot. Because that's where it's all come about from, to be honest with you. Because there was a time when we didn't see that other people were living these lives so often because it wasn't so available to us. But since social media's come along, well, it's there for all to see. You will see people at parties having a great time. You will see people showing you the views of the holiday that they're on. And it will all cause you to feel that you're not getting as much out of life as they are. But one of the things I've found out about social media along the way is that a lot of people use it and push out this good stuff that they're doing because they want to keep up with the Joneses. They see other people having the great time and they have to have it too. And so you will see them taking photos of everything they do, smiling at every picture that they take, and seemingly having a great time. But let me ask you this, when you go out and you go on holidays and that, do you always have the best time? When you're at a party, are you always having the best time? Because what you'll find with social media is that it's not a true likeness, if you like, of what's going on in the real world. You see the best of people's lives on social media. They tend to put the very best moments. And the thing is, they're just moments. But because we aren't there, we seem to feel as though they're having this great life that we haven't got. There was something that put it in its perspective with me a couple of years back. There was a girl that I used to know who was on Facebook all the time. She used to put photos on and she was doing this and she was doing that, and she had the broadest smile on all of these photos. And then one day her brother put on her page that sadly she'd taken her own life the night before. And it brought it back to me that just because you're seeing everybody having a great time, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are. And if you're feeling down because of that, you have to ask yourself, what is your fear? Why do you feel you're missing out? And you have to acknowledge that feeling as well. Because in order for you to make your life better, you do not have to do what everybody else does. Now, I'm not saying that everybody on Facebook does this, but there's a good percentage of people that do. And what you have to do is decide what's important to you. And there are some steps to take, and I know because I've taken them. And I'm very much the same as anybody else. I've seen these photos and I've seen bits of video on Facebook and all on social media and thought to myself, God, they're having a great time. What I've realised is I have to look at myself and decide what's important to me. Because one of the things is that all the time I'm looking at them and thinking they're doing this and I'm doing that, I'm focusing on what I'm not having or what I don't have. And what I should be actually doing is focusing what's good in my life and what I do have. Because it's very easy to look at other people and think they've got it all, and look at yourself and think that you haven't. And there are a few ways you can counteract that. For starters, one of the things that I did is cut down on the time I'm spending on social media. Because it's very easy to get drawn into it, to check it and say, I call it doom scrolling, where you're looking down the pages and checking it out all the time. And another thing that I did was, some of these people that were forever having a great time, I started to hide them for a while so I didn't see it, and something new came up on my timeline to replace that. One of the other things I do, and I've been doing it for about 5 years now, I think this is the 5th year I've been doing it, is to keep a journal. And one of the things that I feel is good about a journal is it helps me get the thoughts out of my head. I can write down those sorts of things. And one of the parts of the journal that I do is to keep a gratitude part of it. So every single day I write what good has happened to me on that particular day. It doesn't have to be anything big. It only has to be something small that's made me smile during the course of the day. And of course, one of the other things is that when you see all these people going out and having a good time and doing this and doing that, we forget that we can actually go out and do things too. There's nothing to stop us from phoning up some friends and just going out for the day. You don't have to go anywhere special. It may be that you just pop into town and go in a coffee shop and just have a drink and have a chat and talk about what's going on in your lives. It doesn't have to be something hugely massive like going on holiday. It can be just changing your routine a little bit. And at the same time as that, what you can do is think about what you want out of life. Make some long-term plans of things that you would like to do, and then count them into small, short-term goals, and just set little plans to achieve each little goal, and give yourself something to do which takes your mind off of watching other people and seeing what they are doing. And some of the other things that you can do is to focus on yourself and try and just make more of the moments that you're out. For instance, if you're out and about in town or walking up the street or anything like that, just take one moment to just stop, close your eyes and listen to what's going on around you. And as you walk along, use your senses. Feel the wind blowing on your face. Feel the sun warming up your face if the sun's out. Start to take just a little bit of notice of the things that you don't normally. Because we get in such a routine that life sort of goes by us as we go down our way. And just taking notice of little tiny things can just take us out of ourselves and stop us thinking that no one likes us, we're no good at this, we're no good at that. Just stop and just take those minute little things that can take your mind off that and place it elsewhere. If you're going out for something to eat, don't get your phone out as soon as you start eating and just look at the phone and shovel it in like this. Take your time over it. As you put the food into your mouth, take the time to eat it slowly. Savour the taste. Smell the food. Enjoy the moment, because we so often take no notice of the moments during the course of the day. And we keep going and we're scrolling down our Facebook and our Twitter or whatever it is. And we're watching Instagram and looking at all of these photos of the great things that are going on for everybody else. And we're not taking the time to pay attention to what we're doing. You see, here's the thing. Wanting to be included is normal. When we're watching social media and we're seeing people doing this and we're hearing about people doing that and everything, it's very normal as well for us to feel like we're not part of it. There is a way around that. And that is to take your focus away from them, put some focus back into your life and have a little bit of gratitude for the things that are good that happen in your life, because they happen every single day. Little things that you don't take any notice of. But once you start to focus, you realise that they're in your life too. And those things that other people are doing aren't quite as exciting as we think, because you think our lives are boring. When we realise that our lives actually aren't, then those things don't become so important. Now, you may not be the same as me, but if you take a look at your life, especially if you feel that fear that you're missing out on the things of life, if you take a good look at it and start to think about your own life and the things that are good in your life, you'll realise that you don't necessarily need to be here, there and everywhere to have a good time. The fact is this: life is what you make it. And you can either enjoy the ride as you're going along, or you can not enjoy it and look at everybody else and wish you had their life. Enjoy what you can. Pick up those good little moments and feel them for your life. Because to be honest with you, the little small things in life can be far better than what you think are the big things. And you don't have to wait for them so long either. That's it from me. And if you have a look over there, here's another video. I'm going to let YouTube pick it for you, because they think that video there will be the one that will help you next. And so I'll see you over there.